There once was a little water droplet. His name was Drip. Drip was about to go on an adventure. Drip had spent his whole life in the ocean. He had traveled all around the ocean. He had seen whales and fish and dolphins. He had even seen some really cool boats. He had seen a lot, but he had friends who had seen the whole world. They had taken adventures to mountains and rivers and streams. Drip wanted to see the whole world too. He knew it might be a long time before he got to come back to the ocean, but he was excited for his adventure. On the next really warm day, Drip worked his way to the surface of the ocean. He felt the sun warming him up. He kept getting warmer and warmer until it felt like the sun was drawing him in. He broke away from all the other water droplets and began to travel up towards the sky. He was evaporating. Drip continued to rise into the sky. When he looked down, he could see the whole ocean. He rose past the tallest trees and then rose past the tallest buildings. He rose past birds flying in the air. He even saw an airplane. Finally, he began to get cold. He found a group of other water droplets huddled together. They invited him to join. Drip was condensing. These water droplets hung on to each other closely. The big group of them formed something called a cloud. This cloud started to travel across the sky. Drip made friends with many other water droplets in this cloud. They traveled across the sky and saw all sorts of things. They traveled over Paris and saw the Eiffel Tower, over Rome and saw the Colosseum, and over New York where they saw the Empire State Building. Drip got to see all kinds of things. He had seen more of his friends in the cloud than he had ever dreamed. As they traveled, their cloud got heavier. They kept inviting more and more water droplets to join them on their journey. Eventually, the cloud got so heavy and full of water droplets that they just couldn't stay up in the sky anymore. So down, down they fell. They were precipitating. As Drip separated from the cloud, he felt himself changing. He turned from a water droplet into a beautiful snowflake. Down he fell as a snowflake until he finally landed with a quiet thud onto a soft pile of snow on top of a mountain. The pile was made up of thousands of other snowflakes. They sat together on top of the mountain, shivering when the cold wind blew. Drip was amazed at how high up the mountain was. He felt like he could see for miles. He couldn't wait to tell his family. Drip spent a few days on top of the mountain. One day, the sun came out and the air around them got warmer. Drip felt himself getting warm again. This time, instead of evaporating, Drip melted. He turned back into a water droplet. Some of his friends in the mountain melted too, and then they began to slide down the mountainside. They flowed together into a stream, which then flowed into a river. The river was full of thousands of water droplets rushing along. Drip floated along the river with his friends. He saw bear catching salmon, he saw people fishing, and he saw great boats. The river continued to run down the mountain and throughout the land. People from all over came and scooped up the water, taking them away to new and exciting places. Sometimes the sun came out and some water droplets got warm and went back up to become clouds. Drip stayed in the river. The river got wider and wider the longer it went. After a long time, Drip smelled a very familiar smell, the smell of the ocean. The river reached its end and all the water droplets were dumped out into the open ocean. Drip was finally home from his adventure. He found his family and told them all about his trip. He told them about his friends in the clouds and the cities he saw, how he lived as a snowflake, and about the animals in the river. His little sister Splash was so interested that she decided she wanted to go on an adventure too. A few days later, Splash worked her way to the surface of the water and let the sun warm her up. Then she began her own adventure.